In today's video, we are taking a look at blue wall mounting putty to see just what it's made of, what we might be able to do with it, and what weird experiments can be done.
We have had a few common requests from Ned Riley asking us to try a few different experiments with blue tack. We've got some blue sticky tack mounting putty here and a list of things that we want to try. Some of them suggested by him, some of them that we came up with on our own.
So I've got at least 3 unopened and 1 open pack here. How much did you actually buy?
A little bit. All right, so you've got 1 pack of it opened.
I do. I've been making shapes.
These nice little swirly bits.
I don't know, it's fun. Guys, this stuff is just kind of very satisfying to play with. Kind of reminds me of kinetic sand. Like, not the same consistency, just how satisfying it is to play with because it's stretchy, sticks to itself. It's very stretchy.
Here's the basic idea. We have a lot of this sticky wall mounting putty and we have a lot of things we want to try with it. What happens when we heat it up? What happens when we freeze it? What happens when we vacuum chamber it? How much weight can it actually hold? These are the things that we want to try and learn. I don't think we're going to get to everything on the list because there are multiple methods of burning, and I think we're probably going to get very similar results with all of those, but we've got lots of things we can try out. You called dibs on burning. All right. Is this toxic? Is this going to kill us?
No, so that's actually one of the interesting things about this. It's non-toxic, it's actually safe to swallow. Like if you accidentally have like a kid, you've left it out and your 2-year-old or your toddler eats this, it's going to be just fine. Don't, but no.
I'm not going to swallow it. I'm just curious if it has any flavor.
Now this is a MAP gas torch. You guys have seen me use this a lot. It burns at an extremely high heat, so I'm going to attempt to hold it over. If that's too hot, I will be using a bamboo skewer just to keep myself safe.
So we looked up the material safety data sheet, and it says that when you burn it, it does put off toxic gases, but those toxic gases are carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. So while those aren't good to breathe in large quantities, as long as we're not just like sitting here breathing them, I think we're going to be okay.
In a well-ventilated area. That is the only, as far as I am aware, because a lot of the ingredients are classified, as far as I'm aware, that is the only ingredient in this that can be potentially hazardous. Hey! Okay, well, that's warm. Well, the will it burn challenge. Yes, it will.
We've got liquid nitrogen. Let's see what happens. So first, before I put it in liquid nitrogen, very stretchy, very squishy.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to stop being stretchy and stop being squishy, and it's going to be very brittle.
I do too, but I also think once it warms up, unlike the one that we've burned, I think the one that we've burned, we've destroyed it, basically. I think this stuff, once it warms up again, it's going to be just fine.
Yeah, I suspect just complete return to normal.
That's my confusion, is because all instructions on this say don't freeze. Like it says, hey, you might not want to burn it, but why not freeze it?
I think it's just because it doesn't work when it's frozen.
Sounds like a porcelain almost. All right, if you drop it, will it break? Yes, it will.
So, before, stretchy. After, snaps in half. Just gonna take this stretched out bit, dip that down in a little bit as well.
Oh, there you go.
All flexibility gone. Warm part, still flexible.
So I've got a piece here that we'd put in the liquid nitrogen, and I'm trying to just basically warm it up again because I want to see if it's going to go back to normal. It's already kind of gone more putty-like again, right back to normal.
So don't freeze, but if it does freeze, then just let it warm back up.
It's fine.
I think we're now at the point where we need to open more of this. The next idea on the list is to use the vacuum chamber, and I think that whatever effect we may or may not get will be accentuated if we have a bigger blob. So let's just open all of it.
All right,
and make a big old blob.
Let's do it.
I don't know about you, but that's the largest blob of sticky tack I've ever seen. Let's put it in a vacuum chamber, I guess.
Okay.
All right, here we go, vacuuming.
Nothing. If it grew, it was such a minute amount that we can't see it. All right, let's see.
That shrunk a tiny bit.
I didn't see anything from this side, so.
Let's do it again.
All right. Okay, it did expand a little bit. I'm betting when we were compressing everything, we got some air bubbles trapped inside there and it was able to expand just a little.
Not much. With this size of ball, that was 4% change in volume, just like that little, and then squish back down. So, can you vacuum chamber it and have it grow a little bit?
Sort of.
Not much. Okay, I threw this together. It's just a small block of wood with a screw in it. The screw has a piece of string with a loop, so we can put our sticky tack here. We can stick this to the ceiling. With the instructions on how to use it, it suggests you knead it till it gets warm. Callie kind of did that as she was making the square. So we can stick this to the ceiling and then just let it cool for a couple minutes. I think we'll just leave 3 minutes.
I'm gonna rewarm it, just a little.
Give it about 3 minutes to cool down, and then we have a fishing scale, and we'll just attach it to this loop and pull down and see how much weight it can really take.
Okay, now it feels warm. There we go.
Smoosh.
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 In case anyone was wondering, these are 9-foot ceilings.
They are not. We have a fish scale here. Pretty simple. Pull down here, gives us a reading in pounds, and we're just gonna see what happens when we put that through the loop and start pulling down on it.
So this should hold at least 1 pound.
That's the idea. Now, I also think that it probably means that it's 4 tabs per pound if you want it to stay there kind of like permanently, if you just want it to have enough strength to hold on. And it's usually used for wall mounting more than ceiling mounting, but I am curious. I'm gonna pull a little bit harder than 1 pound. I think it will come off, but I'd be interested to see, can it hold 2 pounds for more time, or, is there a maximum? How hard can I pull before it comes off? So I'm just gonna kind of start pulling on it and see what result we get.
Let's find out.
Oh, past 2 pounds.
Yay!
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's not even
8,
stretching. Oh, there
10,
now. Stretching.
11.
11 pounds.
We maxed it out at 11, and you said it wasn't even stretching when it was at like
7
5,
or so.
7 pounds.
Yeah.
Very foamy texture here.
Oh,
That's kind of
interesting.
fun. So I am curious if we have enough to hold us. If we had a lot of these, would that be enough? If we make 50 of these, could we hang from it?
Time to find out.
I think so. All right, we've got 77. I made a couple extra, it turned out. We have 77 of these 1 square inch blocks stuck to the ceiling with sticky tack. And I think we need to test the strength of this. Now, in theory, we got a maximum of about 11 pounds, but that was
11 is as it was pulling. 7 was before we saw any problems. To be careful, we've done our calculations with 5 pounds per each one of these square inches.
And that should give us 385 pounds of support. I don't know if that's actually going to work out in practice. I'm also a little bit concerned about whether a rectangle this size of the drywall in the ceiling would actually hold any support. So hopefully we don't tear the entire ceiling down.
There, that's what we need. Okay, so I'll do this and then I will do that. Okay, 1 foot first. It's kind of all of my, okay, I'm gonna jump. Okay. It's gonna be all my weight.
Oh. Well, I think it held you, but
did.
I think we pulled the ceiling away from the support beam.
Okay, this sticky tack can absolutely hold my weight. Watch the drywall. Is it bending at all?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely is.
Okay, so can the sticky tack hold my body weight? Yes. Am I about to break the house?
Yes. You seem far away. Are you hiding from something?
No, of course not.
Okay. Okay, here goes. Hopefully not breaking all of the ceiling.
And the house. What?
I was hanging.
What?
I was hanging. Okay, going.
It's not even flexing.
Ha ha!
Wait, am I heavier than you?
No, we reinforced it with 2 wooden beams screwed into the ceiling.
Okay, so...
now I'm wrapping my hand like you had it.
Bottom, okay, good. Okay, that's flexing, that's flexing.
Like a lot.
No, but we can hear it.
So on our first test, Callie was hanging from this. We heard a little popping sound. I'm pretty sure that was one of the screws tearing through the drywall that's screwed into the ceiling. I don't know for sure, just there was a pop noise and a good amount of flexibility, and she only hung on it for like a tiny bit. We then took these 2x4s and we stretched them so that they cross 3 ceiling support beams. We found where the ceiling support beams are with our stud finder, screwed very long, like 3.5-inch screws through the studs, through the drywall, into those support beams. We've got that on both sides. So now we have a lot more support. We're not just relying on the drywall itself being screwed in a giant panel. However, even with all that, I was a little nervous about it, so we went and got this helmet out of the garage. This helmet is clearly not my size, but I figured that would still be an improvement if something broke and landed on my dome. And turns out it hasn't been necessary.
Can sticky tack hold your body weight?
Absolutely it can.
Holy cow.
You need a fair amount of it. We had 77 of these little squares and a decent sized blob, about 1 square inch with maybe an 1/8 inch thickness of the whole thing. You can see we've got maybe a little over 1 square foot of area is just really stuck together there. By the math, I think it's about 9 inches by 9 inches if it were all perfectly together. We've got it spaced out a little bit, so it is larger than that, but it absolutely can hold our weight.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Click up there if you want to see our last video, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.